What's up, everybody? Thank you for your patience. We are running a little late. We got things we be doing all day because we do a real life outside of YouTube. We're not like these people's living in a bat cave, okay? Not living real life. We actually live real life. So, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. Come in, drop your city and state in the chat. We just cannot wait to talk about the Waka Flocka flam. And the title of this video is Waka Flocka says, once you learn real business, you stop stunning in the hood. Now, I've shown you countless examples of Slim Thug, who builds houses, T.I., the rapper in Atlanta, who also builds homes. Several of these people that, once they just got in the room enough, they realize, hey, like I'm missing the real game, right? Because a lot of people think they're playing some game, which they are, the game of life. But what happens is once they get outside these hoods, they get outside these neighborhoods. This is why it's so important where you live, where you put your children, who you expose them to. They believe that's real life. They believe that is real day every life playing in the hood in a neighborhood they mama don't even know. So the reason I brought that to the forefront is if you see the comment under the description, I basically say avoidable women, avoidable men, avoidable life mistakes and situations. We have to talk about that. Now, before I get started, let me, excuse me, before I get started, I want to do a quick conversational piece. There are some people who in the chat are like, in the comment section, Ericka, you're a Republican. How dare you post these conspiracy theories? And here's what I want you to understand. Y'all are missing the forest for the trees. I come on this channel to talk about one, credit, a business plan, patience, baking, and I talk about work versus life skills. And what ends up happening is I wish I could snitch, but I can't. How many times I've gone into rooms, functions, events, and it's full. I'm talking about full to the titty, to the rooter, to the footer is full of black folks who are Republicans. Republicans. And they can never say that on their social media. They can never say any of these things freely because they would lose their audience, right? They have a core 40 to 55-year-old black men, black women audience, and they could never say what they want to say because they would lose those diehard liberal folks. And I want you to understand, I keep telling you the true freedom is not just owning a business. The freedom is to be able to live how you want, talk how you want, be around the people you want to be around, and don't have a consequence. Don't have a consequence. What cracks me up every time somebody has some kind of incident and they record them on internet, and people are like, we're going to cancel that person. Yeah. They go type the person up, tip, 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 tip. And then they go and say, he owns a business. We're going to make his business go out of business. They go over to the business, the Korean man, the Asian man, the whoever. And what he'll do is, oh, I sold my business to my cousin. So you guys go away now. Okay. Y'all know he ain't sold that business to his cousin, but you get the point, right? Or it's some white dude who did something racist. We're going to go shut him down. We're going to get him fired from his job. Well, they go see he doesn't have a job. He has a business. How can we make his business lose money? You can't. One dude in Florida in particular, he had multi-million dollar contracts from the government, military. So people are out here marching and mad and I'm upset. And you can't shut that person down because they have a business. So they have a freedom to do what? Not act crazy, not act racist. I'm not advocating for that, but they have a right and a freedom to express themselves. I daily express myself on this platform because it is mine. Yes, I work up under YouTube, but I have a 15,000 person email list. I have 2 businesses outside of YouTube. I'm in the process of contracts. And so when you actually have paperwork, bank statements, a credit card, a credit, and an actual business plan, you can go get money from banks and you don't have to kiss people's ass. The problem in the black community, a lot of us are still in middle school. And if I talk bad about you, I'm going to make you not make money. Now, this is the same thing when it comes to food critics. There was a black lady on YouTube. She went viral on Instagram. And she was saying, I hate these black restaurants in Atlanta and this, that, this. And she didn't name any particular restaurant. She was just saying in general. Do you know how many Korean owners are in Atlanta that have black themed restaurants, but they're Korean owners? You know how many Indians own black themed restaurants in Houston, Texas, but they're not black? And people be like, yeah, that black restaurant over there, they be shame. And I literally had to stop somebody in a conversation. You know, they're Armenian. They ain't black. What? The people that own that ain't black? No, but you assume because the quality of the work and the environment was poor that it had to be black. No, they just serve black people. So y'all out here slandering folks left and right and every which way you can to diminish their business and their accomplishments, and that don't make no sense. Yeah, somebody said in the chat, Asian wing spots be busting, and I have no doubt they do. You know what I mean? And so they just released a video on the internet where it was some, I would say, Middle Eastern, I even say other parts of Africa. They're in between looking, and they had the fried fish and fried chicken and fried french fries all over the floor in containers, and walking over containers with flip-flops on and shorts, getting plates of chicken and fish and french fries. And a black man walked back there and recording everything. Now, first things first, I'm going to record, but second, I'm going to call code enforcement. I'm going to call the food department. I'm calling everybody. I want that place shut down. It's in Indiana. It's been going viral all day. But guess what? Them black folk gonna be lined up around the corner. Well, you know what the fish, I ain't never got no bad fish from there. I ain't never got nothing bad. Okay. All right. Well, you just let me know how that happened. I live in Indy where that restaurant issue happened. No surprise. There you go. You already know. You already know. So I just had to do that intro because I think a lot of y'all think, well, if I talk bad, she's going to be scared and she's going to be conform to how we want her to act. And that's hilarious to me because that's the freedom of having a business, right? And when I talk to you guys about how you can make 0 to 250,000 a year in a business, you may not be rich. You may not be gangbusters money falling out the sky rich till you figure out your tax component. But if you do that for 2, 3, 4 years and you start investing in other properties and other things, you'll be fine forever. This is why when Grant Cardone basically said, oh, if you're a man making less than 400,000 a year, you're a disgrace and a disappointment to your family. People are like, oh my God, he's horrible. I've actually known couples that got married, were poor when they got married. It's been a short window too. Bought a house. That's the first step in the monopoly. Wife is like, let's take this extra money and buy another house or a townhouse or a second house or a vacation house. They buy the second house, rent it out. The equity goes up on both houses. They take money out and buy other shit. It's a very simple process. When two people come together and they can stick together on a vision, and 9 times out of 10, when people get married and that wife wants to go home and be with them children, they can hone in hard on that vision. But when y'all do things out of order, have babies first, not married first, other stuff first, no house, it gets complicated. That's why we have people in their 50s and 60s in debt they'll never get out of. So anyway, let's go on with the show though. It's 208 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. The show ultimately is going to be about avoidable women, men, and situations. And Waka Flocka saying, when you learn real business, you stop stunting in the hood. Okay. You just do. And what are those key components? Again, credit, business plans, patience, work and life skills. All right, I'm trying to be careful here. Work and life skills. So let me go ahead on to the first clip. So I find it important for you guys to have video, to understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
I want our name on the block.
Right.
That's going back to the hood.
Okay.
But what stopped me and what actually made me stop hanging in the hood was Dick Gregory.
Okay.
I watched this clip. Dick Gregory was like, nigga, why you buy this Rolls Royce? To ride through the hood to show you the richest motherfucker? That I can't buy one? And da-da-da-da. And it's crazy because that's why I bought it.
Right.
I was young, like, nigga,
Right.
we getting money on the south side. I'm finna pull a phantom out here, da-da-da. But I was ignorant. And at the same time, I could have bought this condo downtown Atlanta that I ride by every day today.
Right.
Fucking 5 times the value.
Right.
The egg on my face, right? So when I seen Dick Gregory do that, I actually got out that car. The things I wanted to be and grow up to be, I got there.
Right.
At 23 years old.
Okay.
I was sitting so high on top of my mountain, I just kept smelling something.
Right.
It just smelled like manure. I was standing on top of shit mountain. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no business. I didn't have no financial literacy. I didn't have an insurance policy. I didn't know what trust accounts was, shell companies. I didn't know how to go buy tangible businesses. I didn't know nothing. So I'm like, yo, how am I this famous guy and I'm the big homie and y'all respected me, but I can't even tell you how to go open up a bank account. It felt so good learning that. Like usually if I want to run money up, I have to go in the streets now. I got good credit, some holding companies. I go give me a loan.
Right.
I go get a loan right now for $10 million, $20 million, $100 million. It's just perspectives
Right.
and a good business plan. It's easy. So when you start learning things like that, why would you be an edge monster?
Right.
I know anybody right now, yo. I don't care how gangster you are, my boy. If you start learning this real business, man, you ain't
leave that
thugging.
alone.
That thug, man, who? I wish you. Man, I ain't going. I'm good. I'm not going nowhere with all the odds is against me. I can't do that. It's stupidity. So
Right.
That's what made me stop, man. I was on top of shit mountain, and I wanted to build Mount Everest.
Right.
And I knew it was all right here in my brain. I got tired of just anytime I see a crowd of black people, I'm clutching. I get around a bunch of Chinese guys or white guys or this guy, I'm kind of cool.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why am I like that?
Right.
I broke out of that. I want to perfect me. I didn't want to be this person that would what they want to say. America wants you to be all every black man say, yo, niggas don't trust black people. I wanted to be me, man. I say, Waka, how could you change anything if you can't change yourself? How could you change the world if you can't change your family? How could you change your family if you can't change your neighborhood? How could you change the country if you can't change your state? So you have to change you, your family, your neighborhood, then your state. So that's a lot of pillars mentally you have to get through as a man. I want to buy the block.
Right.
I want our name on the block.
Right.
That's going back to the hood.
Hold on a second. Did y'all hear that? Did you hear it? Right. And again, I want to be making sure very clear. I'm not a Republican, y'all. I've never been a Republican. I've always been independent. I actually worked for John Edwards many moons ago. That tells you how old I am. I was in college. I worked for John Edwards and Kerry when they went together to run in the presidency. That's how long ago it was that your girl was a Democrat, because I was from where? North Carolina, and we have Dixiecrats that do what? Vote Republican or vote Democrat. It just depends on what you're saying to us. Okay. So Waka Flocka said you have to change you, then you change your family, then you change your neighborhood, then you change your community, then you change your country, your state, really, your state. So think about it. Think about it. And there's several interviews. I have more than one clip. I'm just going over clip by clip by clip. I want y'all to see these clips. Thank you, 2004 exactly. I want you to see these clips because they're so important, because what happens is when these people get just enough enlightened, they do something different. Now, I'm not about to knock Derrick Rose. That's not what this is about. My significant other was watching the video, an interview with Derrick Rose, and he said how he got in a court case, a rape case. And I said, Derrick Rose, you hear these athletes get these rape cases and you go, oh my God, that's horrible. They got all this money. Why would they be with what? Avoidable women, avoidable situations. I'm not one of the people say, believe all women. It just, whatever the women say. No, I'm not one of those people. So all of a sudden, gotta be careful here. All of a sudden, because there's a couple white football players right now in the midst of going to trial about rape. And I believe them cases. Ben Roethlisberger's as well. But Derrick Rose was like, this woman charged him and several other people with rape, right? Accused them. They go to court and they're like, do you want to settle? Do you want to do? He's like, no, I don't want to settle. Well, when he explains the situation to this group of guys in barbershop chairs, well, it wasn't rape. We just went one by one into a room with the girl alone, each person. So what they explained to you was an avoidable situation. One, with an avoidable woman. Two, where if I'm worth millions of dollars as a basketball player, there is no woman, I'm trying to be nice, worth me lining up at a door to take turns. I'm trying to keep this not, above board as clean as I can keep it. To me, that is a dangerous, avoidable situation. I'm Derrick Rose. I have money. Now he has hundreds of employees, but let's get back to when he did this. I'm Derrick Rose. I can pay a chick and be by myself with her. why would I be in a line of dudes who, one, could all flip and say I did that? One, okay, avoidable. Two, she could change her mind when this end of this event happened, right? Three, any of them could have blackmailed him for that situation. The women, the men he was with, any of them. To me, that's a no, dog. That's a no. Your spidey sense should go, yeah, I shouldn't line up and go one by one into this room with this person. There you go, a strange woman, as John Gray says, because that's a bad situation for me. Right. And so when you sit here talk about, oh man, that's a shame you had to spend all this money. Now, at the end of the court proceedings and all that stuff, this woman owed them money because of the accusation. So the court was like, hey, chick, you kind of agreed to this situation. You're smudging their names. You owe them money by the law. Now, was it an inappropriate situation? For sure. Hell, hands down. Even if he came and explained to me what happened, I'd be like, is you stupid? Is there not ladies all in the streets at all hours of night that you could not have paid cash money to, and you chose this situation? Again, I have a hard time feeling sympathy for people who put themselves in avoidable situations with avoidable people, with avoidable men, with avoidable women. So, as you heard with Waka Flocka, in order to change all those things and stop feeling nervous around other black people, think about that. He felt nervous around other black people. Oh, these black people gonna get me. Oh Lordy. When I go out, my first instinct is to say, hey, how you doing? How you doing? If you do something sketch, then I'm ready either way. Okay. You know what I mean? But I'm more scared of the random white dude walking by me in the street than I am of the average black person. I'm gonna just say that right now. At most, I've been places black people like, yeah, girl, I like them boots, or I like something, the hat, the clothes, or whatever, and we're going about our day. So he realized then he need to change his what? Himself, his family. Again, I tell y'all this all the time. When people try to say that I'm so rich, I'm doing so well, I'm gonna move to Brazil, I'm gonna move to Argentina, I'm gonna do this and that. Okay. See, I already know you weren't wealthy, because when you're wealthy, you can avoid trashy women, trashy cities, trashy situations, and you attract certain people. But what happens in our community and several communities is y'all get money, but you don't get the life skills. You don't learn how to play golf. You don't learn how to play tennis. You don't how to learn how to get into new areas, new environments. You want to keep hanging out at the country pool hall and picking big booties Betties from the bus stop, and then can't understand when these situations go wrong for you. Yeah, these big booty Betties, man, they keep messing me up. Well, brother, you make 100K. You live on this side of town. You work with all these professional folks. Why are you over here trying to get dirty foots? What's going on? Why are you trying to get the girl with the bonnet on her head in the middle of the day? What's going on, brother? Because people didn't get life skills along the way. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to get in other environments. They don't know how to change their clothes. Why do we have so many men's channels on YouTube teaching people how to put on a button-up shirt and a pair of pants, and how to iron their pants, and how to put on a brown pair of shoes? Why do we have women's channels teaching women, this is the type of dress you wear, this is the type of skirt, this is how you get it fitted? Because people's families are not teaching them basic life skills, not how to cook, not how to clean, not how to work out, not how to what to wear. They can't help them advance. Okay? These are basic life skills. And again, they can all be avoidable. All right. So again, I'm gonna tell you about the super chat. Thank you, Ken Billions, for the 49 super chat. No matter what, your message stays on money. Salute. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now that's growth. I wish more black people had that mindset. Walk a claim it too. I got some more clips. It hurts that folks don't listen to this. It's all about B's and H's. No drama, then it's boring. Exactly. You have these people who are shoved in front of a TV as a child. Their mom's too busy running the streets and hanging out. And so they're used to just entertainment, dopamine, TV games, phone, internet, blah, 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 blah. So now they're an adult and you go put them in an office to work a job. I'm bored. I'm going to surf the internet all day while I'm at my job, instead of thinking of ways to make the job better or be more competitive or get more pay out of their boss. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're goofing off. That's what it is, right? He's been saying it ever since he said. They said, "Why did you stop rapping?" He was like, because I realized I was a trash rapper, and I made $30 million. So why am I doing this? Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. When you meet these football players, I do it for the love of the sport. Or some of them are literally, the basketball player that just quit. He had all that anxiety. He made $6 million. He's 23. He can go do something else. But see, we are so in love with the attention factor of sports, the attention factor of music, the attention factor of radio. Man, we missed the whole thing. I'm like, just give me the money now. She. There you go, Knight. None. None. That's a wow. Like, even if he was high, I don't understand that. That's danger. Look, got all that money, still stupid. Telling you. I'm telling you. Strange woman, John Gray. That's what it is. Thank you, Dr. Yep, we have a lot of good people coming on in the channel. These guys never had real friends around them to tell them no. No, that's a dumb idea. No, that chick only wants your money. No, it's not a good idea to buy a tiger and a monkey. Tiger and a monkey. That's a perfect that they've never really had real friends. From 8th grade, when somebody starts seeing their body and their talent, they've already lost that. Let me be honest with them. Let me be honest with them. Getting a life coach is mandatory. Y'all, listen, when I was like, I got a couple friends who got money and they were depressed. I'm like, you got all this money. And they were like, but I'm depressed. I'm like, you need therapy. Right. And I was even in therapy for 2+ almost 3 years. Trust me, you need it for introspection. Money, the people like, oh, money doesn't buy happiness. But shit, money buy therapy, money buy a personal trainer, money buy, accountability. Money buys a lot of things. When you start doing the math on like, I remember I was reading this book like $5 a day. Save, don't buy lattes, drink coffee at home, pack your lunch every day. And I really sit down and I say, well, damn, a $5 coffee drinks time 30 times a day is $180. Can I not figure out a way to bring in $180 into my life? Let's say I eat a $20 lunch a day. $20 lunch a day times 30 days is $600. Now you're talking. Now you can say, well, $600 is X amount of hours of my paycheck. Cool, I hear you. But those aren't the big pushers. That's why I always tell you, if you can find a business or something you can do that brings in an extra $1,000 a month, shit, you're winning. Right? So this is why we always talk about making more money, making more money. Lordy, somebody done said this. Oh, Lord. I ain't even gonna read that. I'm gonna let that look on the screen. Y'all need Jesus. You need Jesus. You need Jesus. Funny you mentioned different environments because I'm going to view a $3 million house in California next week. Congratulations. Life coaches wait money. Yeah. Waka got woke up after a call after got shot. Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. So let me go on. Yeah, it's a lot of sicko people lying to them. Money is a defense. It can be. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm bringing on some good people for the spring, and we got some good stuff planned. But at the end of the day, I'm probably gonna be like gone by March, so I'll be in Hawaii. I think I have one Hawaii show while I'm out there. So, okay. Anyway, let me see. All right, all right. Box. I mean, but again, there's escorts. There's all kind of ladies that people can be around, and so that just tells me you're limited. Like, I know if I go to this bus stop, I'm gonna find me somebody. You know what I mean? Good luck. Good luck. Okay, so let me pull up this other video real quick. Okay, here we go.
Listen to this.
One day, a friend of mine was like, "Yo, man, I went to school for being a financial historian." So I'm like, "Bro, I don't know what that is. What is that?" And he's like, "Bro, we study rich people's spending habits." I was like, "Oh snap!"
Then the moment where he found out where wealthy people actually keep their money, check out what he did.
I'm going to open up insurance, put 2-3 million of my insurance and borrow from that and put it back in.
Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't get it. How exactly does this thing work? And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. Let's head over to the board. All right. So basically, what Waka Flocka was saying was that before he discovered where wealthy people kept their money, he had millions of dollars, and that money was basically kept inside of a bank account, all right, where he was earning 0.001% or even less. The banks then take that money and they put it into a life insurance policy, also known as index universal life, where you're able to earn anywhere from 6 to 15% on average. Okay. Once the banks once they grow their money in life insurance policy, then they issue it out as loans to consumers, credit cards, mortgage, car note, whatever the case may be. And then once they make money here, you now come back for your money, and then they pay back the savers. All right. And that's why savers are losers. Your money is not growing in your savings account. Okay. Now, what Waka Flocka discovered was that instead of giving the banks his money, he now take this money and he directly puts it into an IUL by himself, his own policy, where he can earn 6 to 15% on average, right? The beautiful thing about IUL is that you can grow your money in this life insurance policy tax-free, okay? Also, it has zero risk, which means that you don't lose money when the market starts to go down. You only make money when it's going up. Now, of course, you got the death benefit, which means that when he does pass away, his family will get the death benefit payout. Then it also has critical, terminal, and chronic illness, which means that if he were to fall ill under one of these conditions, he can actually access the money in a death benefit while he's still alive, in addition to the cash value. And of course, you got protection against lawsuits, which means that no one can come for the money in this policy. Then you got the uninterrupted compound interest. Now, the uninterrupted compound interest means that you're able to borrow money or take out a loan against the money in your cash value. Then the moment where he found out this.
One day, a friend of mine was like, yo, man, I went to school for being a financial historian. So I'm like, bro, I don't know what that is. What is that? And he's like, bro, we study rich people's spending habits. I was like, oh, snap.
Then the moment where he found out where wealthy people actually keep their money, check out what he did.
I'm going to open up and
All right, can you guys hear me? Now here's y'all gonna not like me though, because I'm gonna say this. Let me be careful. I am not like a big pusher of like, you should get life insurance and the whole life and the infinite banking, and let me take, because you know why? 99% of y'all don't make $90,000 a year. And let me just tell you like this. There's a book I recommend always on this channel. It's called Millionaire Before 30. If you got, $10K a year, which is $900 a month to put in insurance for the next 10 years, and at that 10-year mark, you can start taking loans from it, sure. They don't work for most people. Most people do not have an additional $1,000 a month to toss to insurance right? To toss in insurance every month, and then at the end of 10 years do this. They don't have it. They don't have the income. They watching channels like this. They're trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. 90% of y'all, the best thing y'all can do, okay? And again, I know people are like, Ericka, you're a hater. No, listen, it's not for 80% of the population, y'all. That's why I talked about in my class, the rise of the 20%. There was a reason I was saying a lot of the stuff ain't going to be for 80% of people. We have a high population in America that cannot read. Reading comprehension is crap. Math is crap. Barely just enough to push the picture buttons at McDonald's or the 7-Eleven. So trying to tell them about life insurance and borrowing money from themselves is ridiculous. Many of you have called and asked the staff about, can I talk more about captive insurance? I will not do this on YouTube. I will do it behind the paid wall. I will do it in our live trainings. Probably the end of the month, I'll talk about real high interest dividend stocks and captive insurance, because you ain't even got to do all this. If you're in my class, you just did one of my live trainings, you saw where I showed you multiple banks that will give you a loan against your stock interest. Now, many people say, well, people don't have a lot of money put in their stock accounts, Ericka. They're like 50 years old and they got like $100,000 in their stock account. Perfect. You can get a line of credit at freaking credit unions for $100,000. You can get it. $400,000 to $1 million. We showed that in our last live training at a credit union. So all this infinite banking, all this jumping through hoops, I'm gonna just tell you like this: you ain't gotta do all that. If you've been consistently putting money away into your stock account, your 401k, you literally can go to your local credit unions, depending on which one, and do what? Take a line of credit out against it. Now, many people say, "Well, Erica, that's my retirement money. I can't do that." Oh my god! And so let me kind of back it up. Let me back it up. Let me back it up some more. 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 Most of these products and services are only for those who are what? Business owners and high income folks. If you're making 30, 40K a year, it's not for you. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of people on YouTube making money lying to y'all. I have no need. I literally have people all the time come back and comment on my old videos and say, man, you were right. Or share something I had put out 3-4 years ago. Man, you were telling the truth then. I stay telling the truth. An investment, yes, you can lose money in investments, but at the end of the day, I can go in M1 Finance right now, put $20,000 into M1 Finance. Let's be honest. I can put $4,000 in M1 Finance and take a 20% loan out. Not 100%, but a 20% loan. So let's say I've got 100,000 in M1 Finance. 20% loan is $20,000. Who you know can't lose $20,000? Who you know? Right? So you see a lot of these YouTubers showing you these really big portfolios. And I'm just telling you on the real, the reason these YouTubers are putting that money into these portfolios is because they take a loan out from it. I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, you had the credit guy that was always on with Ty Lopez. And he was like, I've got $3-4 million in lines of credit and credit cards. And people are like, that's terrible. It's risky. No, if the line of credit was at 7% interest, and you put it in an investment or a franchise or whatever, real estate flip, that's going to give you 30-40% returns, you're fine. Let's say out of that 3 million, you have it sitting in a 20% return dividend stock, you're going to get $900,000 a year. You can't live off $900,000 a year and also pay back your debt. Again, this is why interest rates matter, right? Somebody give you some money at 2% interest rate. You're investing in something at 15% interest rate. Well, you're making 13% interest off that same money. This is why people get really enticed with I need a 0% interest credit card. No, you need a damn game plan. You need a game plan, because if I give some of y'all 100K in credit cards right now, most of you, 90% of you, what you're going to do is you're going to pay up your rent for a year. You're going to buy a nice car. You're going to plan a bunch of vacations. And then next year, you're going to be asking me, how can I pay off this credit card debt? How do I know? The data says it. The data, literally, they issued $15 million in business credit cards last year. And what were people doing? They were stunting on the gram. They were renting yachts on the gram. Okay. They were cutting up on the gram. Okay. So let's not get it twisted. I came in here and the girls working the front desk were like, oh, I'm waiting on my Southwest points to come back. Or they owe me so much Southwest points. I said, girl, Southwest. Shit, you need to join a lawsuit. Okay. Did you get your bags back? Bump the points, get a bag out of this thing. Which tomorrow's show will be I'm gonna see if By the Hood, Diamond Dave, or a few people can join me. It's essentially the show I'm doing tomorrow talking about Bruce Beach. The family they stole the land from in the 1920s, and their parents died destitute, in agony, and sad because they stole this land from them. They give it back to the kids now. They give it back to the descendants. Half these kids got white wives. Marry who you marry, but it plays into the part. And not even a year, y'all. 6 months later, they're selling this land back to the city. When you got white people on camera like, this isn't right. In California, loving California. And not even 6 months later, their kids sell it back to the state of California for $20 million. Y'all, the 2 land lots alone are worth $100 million. A developer could have partnered with them and built a high rise on the beach, and the family would have made millions every year for the next 20 years. This is why financial education is so important. This is why when you sacrifice your kids, if you don't train your kids any kind of way, you might as well just pour money out the window, because that's the equivalent I can put to that is your grandma leaves the house, paid off house, to your cousin who's a crackhead, and he stay there and just do crackhead things and tear it up and don't pay the taxes, and just now 10 years later the house fall on the ground. They're like, somebody help, I'm about to lose grandma's house. And you're like, she gave you an asset, what happened? That's equivalent to what just happened in California. It's disgusting. It's sickening. If you have any integrity as a descendant of, like, I'm half Native American, half black, and just the degradation that my grandparents suffered on both sides, y'all don't understand. My grudge is to always own 100 acres of land and nobody can steal from me or my kids. To have businesses, to not work at an office where they're going to make me get a jab, or work under some white lady tripping at office and I got to kiss her butt to stay there. No, I've done the corporate American thing. I pass. Let me get back to the show, though. Sorry, I had to go on a little rant there. I'm pulling it back. Mindset is necessary change for our community. Yes, Ray Gun 34. It really is. Sherry Johnson, thank you for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate you. Listen, we got 376 people watching and only 100 likes. Get them likes up. It's unfortunate. I didn't know Waka was a person. That he's got some good stuff he's been saying lately. I sell life insurance. My plan in 2023 is to bring more info like this to people. Then you get started today. Shit, if you're in a digital real estate class, we show you how to bundle up and do different things. So, again, here, I hate the word scam. We overuse it almost to the point where it loses value. Like, oh, that person's a scam. I did a whole video on Darius Cooks and my thoughts on him because, we get into this real tight abuse of a word. But I'm gonna break down something too at the end of this show about course creators and all this other stuff, and this was a response to something. I saw some content. Somebody was like being a hater, and I thought it was funny. Not to me, but so like they made a whole bunch of videos on it, and I just kind of laughed because I'm like, you're missing several parts. But let me keep going through this. High yield savings accounts give 3% versus commercial. Yep. But again, even now, I could literally be like, give me $100. Let me show you this dividend stock. Go put it in this dividend stock. You're going to get 19% returns. And it's not dangerous. It's literally an industry stock that's been doing it for the past 7 years, right? MasterCard just went up on its dividend. Several other ones are going up on their dividend. You know why they're going up on their dividend? When it's a bear ass market, and it's going to be a bear market for 2-3 years, maybe 5, 6, 7. What happens is these dividends, people know that's where people are going to put their money because they're just like, I need some guarantee. But I'm going to talk more about that on the Just Stock Profits channel. And I'm not going to go into it over here because really at some point I'm going to be like, here's a $50,000 portfolio and what it looks like. And here's why I'm a buy and hold person, and even my friends are like, hey, look, I did this, day trading. I'm like, awesome, freaking great, But right now I'm running a full-fledged business. Now I may be able to swing trade, but my biggest goal is just to buy and hold so that I can do what? Go to the credit union here in Texas and get a loan out against it. So I can do what? Buy commercial lots and do what? Build on those lots and then keep it pushing. Let's follow the path, okay? Inflation is hella higher than 3%. That's why if you're not pursuing anything at least 12% interest, and I've heard people say 12% interest is so dangerous. In 1984, when I was born, which I'm old, when I was born, the parents were paying close to 18% on houses interest rates, and you could get like 15% interest rate from the bank. I have to go back and look at it, but it was a screenshot, and I was like, oh, I got to use this in my training. I got to use this. So most people don't understand how auto insurance works, so they definitely won't understand. Nicole Williams, anybody in here who is a actual licensed current insurance person, I would love for you to come do a little talk in Wealth Wednesdays. I mean, I have some people on deck, but I would love, if you want to speak on a certain niche, or I'll have, you put a little PowerPoint presentation together, we'd love to have you because it's a point for me to be building this thing up on Wealth Wednesdays. So email our staff, admin@classyclimbers.com. Gina or Enrique ought to pick it up and answer it. Nicole, I was told to get your credit ran at the credit union versus the dealership. This is correct. Okay, let me see what else we got. 20% is safe. Max margin is 50 spick. If the stock drops 50%, you're still at 40%. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is what I did when I made my first 100K profit in business. Oh, what did you do? Talk to us. Financial planning is key, but you have to start where you are and building using extreme discipline. I mean, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, it's like if you got $20, y'all, put the $20 in. When I talk about the word building wealth, people get smart ass about like, oh, building wealth. What does that mean? It's building habits, right? It's like you come into my class and like, hey man, the next 120 days, I'm gonna post every single day. I'm gonna promote my business every day. I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna send out these emails like Ericka said to do. I know a lot of you won't do it, but I know if you do, by July, you're like, Ericka, look at all this money I made. I'm gonna be like, I told you. Because 90% of our population is not reading at a high proficient level. They can't do math. They much rather pay you, if you look on this YouTube, to read police reports to them, read the news to them, tell them why they should do something. This is the country live in, and you could be paid handsomely for that. And people say, well, Ericka, that's because you're popular. You got a good personality. I've seen people with personalities that of dry paint on YouTube making money. Remember we had the PPP, all that stimulus money, and that Asian accountant came out talking, and he was drier than dirt, but people were listening because they was like, oh Lord, the sky's falling. I need this money. So they sitting there listening. Oh my God, he's dry, he's boring, but I'm listening. People listen when it's real money. People listen when they got to do something. Most of the time, people are out here just lollygagging, laughing. Kitty kitty. Let's watch some more Netflix. People not understanding the wealth transfer already happened, and it's still happening right now. When I sat here and told you, that's the last segment. Let me stop. Let me read this last one and go into my last segment. Oh, honey, you already know it's the Bruce Beach people. We're Bruce Beach. I seen a guy on Instagram take 100K out of his $1 million policy on a stock option, and he made 300K on that. Our community struggles because of lack of knowledge. They for sure. We know it's the truth. Cat casserole. That's why I don't be working at these office. Cat casserole. Hey, Ericka, I can't wait to set up my concert. I feel like I have opportunity to really do something. I just don't know where to start. You guys, you can always go to the Calendly link. I don't know if it's in there. Do I have it? Nope, I don't have it in there. Hold on. I'll post it real quick for you. Hold on. Let me see here. Put the link in here, and I'm gonna start at the top of the page, so you can't miss it. Right here, this is the bundle. Make sure y'all grab the bundle. We're talking about personal credit, business credit, and all these vendors and all these lines where people are like, oh, I just want some Navy Federal, Ericka. Like, nah, we got something better than Navy Federal. We got plenty of stuff better than Navy Federal. Cut it out. Navy Federal play is dead. Okay, let me see. Reminds me of a family in NC. Great father worked, bought a farm. Now my parents want to sell it. I'm fighting them, but I know my dumb broke siblings will probably sell. Yeah. I'm telling you, because if you just come in there, JLD, and say, hey, we're going to start an Instagram. I'm going to hire a social media kid to run around the farm creating all this content and marketing it. And we're going to have 1 or 2 contracts with businesses. And then the rest of the contracts is going to be like, pumpkin patch, pick your own stuff, do this, do that. And they'll make a little money and we'll all live well. People, I don't know. Okay. So that's the thing. But to sell that beach spot that's worth millions, 100 million minimum for 20 million. I mean, their ancestor ought to get up out the grave and slap them with their zombie hand. It's crazy. Thank you for the 199 super chat. I'm not going to say infinite banking is a scam. I know people would love saying everything's a scam. What I'm telling you is 90% of us will not be able to do infinite banking. 80% of us won't, period. Hands down. And I'll even say it like this: as a business owner who for years now made over 250, 450, 650 a year income, I've had different banking companies. Okay, if you just give us this much, if you just do this money, then we'll do this with your money. And then I'd be like, or I could just buy some real estate and the returns on the real estate would be 30% interest. Let's try that again, right? So again, there's points where this makes sense, and a lot of it don't make sense for people who, even when people start talking about trust, I'm like, do you have 75,000 sitting in your bank right now you need to put away? No. Do you own a home? No. What are you putting into trust? I don't know. They said I need a trust. No, you don't. You don't got nothing to put in the trust. You don't got no assets to protect. What are you talking about? Get out of here. My first credit book was a 2000 and interest was 12%. Then I believe it. Bought dumb stuff, took hella trips, didn't build credit, didn't invest. I'm telling you, it's a habit. Like, and here's my thing, and I'm gonna go into the last segment in a second here. I'm in the credit class and digital real estate class. Went through. You'll be free. 30-year fixed mortgage at 18.4%, 1984. Thank you so much, John. Perfect example. Right? Do y'all remember the Asian account? He was dry as hell. Dry. So dry it made my eyes hurt. Open assisted living facilities, all that stuff. They sold it in 6 months back to California because they're idiots. And this is what happens when your kids, you're fighting for something. If your family's been fighting for 2 to 3 years with an attorney, which he gonna get a cut of that, the attorney should have been mandating everyone in that family be attending some type of investment information, because common sense would have said, we're going to partner with the builder, build something out here, make sure the first floor of the rental place we get access to unlimited, and the rest is rented out for the rest of our lives as an apartment, as a condos. I mean, it's just basic information. Like, that's just dumb. 20 million in California, where your tax is going to take half of the 20 mil. Come on, man. Now y'all got 10 million split between cross family members. What a bunch of dummies. Pure dummies. But we'll do the show tomorrow. Instead of shaming, Ericka, this is where you take time to educate. Can't shame. You can't. No. Shame is necessary. Why do other countries and other communities work so well? There's a shame component. See, in our society, we have these things where coddle everyone, pat them on the back. It's okay, baby. It's okay you failed the past 3 grades in a row. We're just going to keep passing you on to the next grade. No. Shame is a component. Accountability is a component to learning. If you never have a moment to stop and say, man, I shouldn't have done that. That's not smart. These people are in an active lawsuit fighting for their parents from 100 years ago. Were destroyed and just absolutely destroyed. So much so that they died early of depression. Depressed, died, penniless, broke when they own beachfront property. Yes, they need shame. And this coddle crap in the Black community. Why are you shaming? Don't This is the same crap when some kid breaks in a house and gets shot. Why did they shoot him? Because he broke in their house. Because he did something dumb. This is the basic of existence. If we can't have shame, people will be walking down the street butt naked and we'd be like, don't shame them. It's their body, their choice. This is the dumbness. There's too many computers out here. Their attorney should have been like, y'all have to go to these classes every Wednesday as a family of 20 to understand what you're about to inherit. You know why most attorneys don't do that? 1, they can't convince their client. 2, they can't force them. 3, that would fuck up their money. 4, a bunch of them are not going to do it. They're going to want the fast cash. No. People have listen. The trust conversation is abused just like a business conversation here on YouTube. It's very clickbaity. You should get a trust. Do you have money? No. Do you have a house? No. Do you make high income? No. Then why are you inquiring about something that is not for you? That is the criteria. It's like saying, I want to go play basketball. Ericka, are you a man? No. Are you 6'4"? No. Do you have skills? No. Ma'am, I'm so sorry. We don't have any slots in the NBA today. There's just none for you today. I apologize. We don't have any this week. Check back next week because we may have some. No, it's called criteria. It's called the list. It's called, do you meet the criteria? If you don't meet the criteria, when you come to the car lot and you got $350 credit and they say, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but you have to leave. Get your ass out of here. No, we don't say, shame on them. Shame on them coddling. Shame. No, you don't. And if they won't tell you, they're trying to scam you because you don't need it. Go listen, don't take my word for it. I want y'all to go book time, pay $100 to $200, and you may have to pay $500 to an attorney that starts trust. And I want you to go to them and ask them if you need a trust. And they're going to do the little paperwork with you. They're going to talk with you. They're going to say, okay. And guess what? They're going to say no. And you would have paid $100 and learned it from an attorney. How many black people know the criteria? Why are you talking about shit you don't know? This is before I finish this last segment. But what about women? What about men? What about, listen to me. If you are a person asking any basic question today, January 3rd, 2023, you can pick up your phone and type that question in the phone. And that phone will tell you, because it's called Google, you don't qualify for that. You don't qualify. Today, I saw a woman on the internet post, and it went viral, that calling someone obese is anti-black. And I said, wait the fuck a minute. I had to open the dictionary and look at it and say, where's did you read the definition for obese? Does it say black on it? What the fuck is happening? And it went viral. And people were like, yeah, girl. I said, y'all got to stop. It's getting out of control. Okay. Y'all got to stop. You got to stop. It's getting out of control. The research is everywhere. Y'all got to stop. You got to stop, people. You're doing too much. It doesn't. Let me get to my last segment. I'm done with y'all today. I can't mess with y'all today. Let me do my last segment. I can't. I gotta do my last segment. I'm get on out of here. I cannot with y'all today. Y'all doing too much. Shame on Ericka, shaming people for wanting to educate themselves. I know. I'm a horrible person. Okay. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick for y'all. Okay, we got that. Okay, here we go. Let me pull it back a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Oh boy, I tell y'all wear me out. Y'all wear me out on here. This is why I can't even do a captive insurance conversation in here. Because we're already losing people by the criteria. You're shaming people. You're done. I'm done. This is why stuff is behind the paywall, because we would be spending hours trying to explain why 1 + 1 is 2, why your phone is actually a computer, and it's your job to actually look up stuff. We would be doing that. It's actually your job to take care of your own children. It's actually your job to make sure they can read before they leave the house for kindergarten, but they won't tell you that either. So let me just share my screen and stop educating people, because I'm just so rude. I'm so rude. You're rude, Ericka. I'm so rude. Right.
You do look cool. And you know, they want you to crash with them. Crash dummies want you to crash with them. Crash dummies want homeboys to crash with them all the time. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? Crash dummies don't like crashing alone. They like bringing other people to crash with them. All I'm telling you, I'm from the hood, man. Everybody who know me. You know what I'm saying? I done seen every side of everything, man. I'm trying to give you some game. It's 2022. I'm trying to help somebody start that year out right. Get out the dumb shit. Nothing cool about going to jail. Saying I don't give a fuck about going to jail makes you slow. It makes you not have common sense. If you a nigga who don't give a fuck, you a little slow. So understand the niggas who out here in the street saying, man, I don't give a fuck. I go to jail for this. Them niggas is slow. Identify slow around you and know that you don't need to move with the slow niggas. You need to separate yourself from the slow niggas who own them. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Money ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially hitting a lick. If you can't maintain the money, it's worthless. You know what I'm saying? I think get some money, buy some shit, and have to sell it in 6 months. If you have no backing of hustle, you gotta have income, bro. You can't just hit a lick and you good. That ain't how life works. You gotta have income. The bills is every month, my nigga. If you hit one lick for a few $1,000s, it's not gonna change your life. You are risking your life going to jail for years for a short time of your life. Staying free and just paying a bill, living in.
Oh, I don't want Skynet to counsel me. Let me stop. Let me pause it for a second. I was gonna get to a point where in the clip where you can, and I'll share this clip in the community wall. Slim Thug talks about how he builds homes, right? And he talks about other clips, but in this one, he really talks about you only need about 20K a month, right, to really ball out. And the reason I wanted to show him saying it is because we have all these kids like, I want to make $1 million. I want hundreds of $1,000s a month. But when you really step out here, and this is the big thing I want y'all to understand. If you pay attention to a lot of these creators that actually owned a home during the pandemic and built studios in their house and bought all these fancy cars and shit, to me, the most crazy thing is seeing somebody buy Porsches and they live in an apartment. And I'm not talking about a downtown city views, the lake, balling. I'm talking about hood ass, raggedy BC listed apartments with Porsches outside. Shit's crazy, right? So, the whole you can't stunt because you can't buy this car, man. This car, man. Can you buy a car cash? Who gives up? You buying a car cash? This is the level of that middle school. Like, look at me, I'm in a car. And this is the reason I picked these rappers to say it, because I want you to understand, if 75 million Americans make $30,500 or less a year, you making 10K a month, you making 20K a month, you can go to the restaurants you want with your girl. You can go on the vacations you want. You can treat yourself. Now let's add a little spice to it. You get a few credit cards. They're giving you 50,000, 100,000 points. They're already putting you in silver medallion, gold medallion status. You're getting on the plane. You're riding first class, all points. The past year, I had one of the cards that I hadn't used often, and what's funny is I had gold status with Delta or whatever, and I hadn't been using it. And I had American status. I think I'm silver. I'm like even close to platinum or something. And we kept getting upgraded. And the lady was like, I just don't. The lady's up there being nosy. I don't know how you guys got upgraded to first class. I mean, you bought a basic ticket. You're getting free luggage. You're getting first class. I don't understand. And I was looking at this lady like, ma'am, I do 30 to 40 flights a year. Look at that points balance. Look at my status. It don't matter if I buy a $40 ticket in advance, a year in advance. You're going to move me up to first class. Why? Because I have the status. Keep it pushing. You could have seen this white lady was in utter frustration, like, oh, how? Brain just exploding at work. It was hilarious. What happens is these celebrities and these stars you're seeing on TV, it doesn't take that much. Again, this is why when Ryan Pieta, who's now going on to a whole nother level. He wants to be a billionaire. So he's been hanging out with Grant. He's been trying to learn from all these hedge funds. That's a whole nother conversation. He's young enough to do it, and he's a sports-based personality. So the drive is there. He'll probably will become a billionaire by the time he's 50, maybe 67, right? He's got a track record to run. Now, why am I saying this? Ryan Pieta in 2020, during February, March, in April of 2020. He met at a mastermind. The guy said, listen, let's do these TV ads for We Buy Houses. And I'm telling you, if you do it, this is how I've made no less than $20 million every year from running TV ads. The sense of trust people get off TV. Why? Who are the type of people watching TV, y'all? Elderly. They're watching the Stopes, watching Days of Our Lives. They're sitting at home. People in low income watch TV, high levels of TV, hours, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours of TV. Okay. And so you're on TV in the middle of March 2020. What was going on in March 2020, y'all? What was going on in March 2020? The pandemic. People were freaking out. Oh, the housing's going to crash. Everything's going to crash. So Ryan P. was able to just swift the whole Las Vegas market because he was the only person running TV ads for 3 months. And he said, man, it cost me $20K the first month and I didn't see results and I was upset. Then it was $10K the next month and $10K the next month. I was kind of nervous. And then all of a sudden I made what? Millions of dollars. And if you follow this man's channel and his journey, or you've even booked a golf time with him in Las Vegas, I am telling you, it is so traceable and watchable. It's a math problem. Service businesses are a math problem. Credit is a math problem. Patience is your personal problem, right? Business plans are an easy problem. So when we're teaching these things, and I did a video coming up on Darius Cooks, which I know people are gonna be like, oh my God, Ericka, I can't believe you. I did this video because I wanted to show you and tell you that most of these content creators, and someone had a salty little sassy mouth comment. They were talking about, I can't wait for these over leveraged, content creators out here to what they gonna do when they're over leveraged. And I started laughing because I'm like, me and my friends have this joke. It's like there's a thing called being poor and entrepreneur poor. Entrepreneur poor is just you make a few phone calls and you move money around, or you come up with a new deal and all of a sudden, boom, you're back in money. The poor person's got to run around and figure out how to get a job. The poor person's got to run around how to figure out how they're going to have gas and how they're going to have food to eat. The content creators that jumped out here and made courses and made a bag 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, I'm not worried about them. I'm not. Course sales are going to be down for everybody. And I knew they were down. I was telling y'all they were down because I was seeing people who are bigger, higher up than me be like, oh my God. They started sweating. So I knew what was up. Okay. I said, this year, 2023, you're going to see nonstop conferences and events. And already my emails have been like, we have emails for staff, emails for the assistants and stuff like that. And we sign up for people's email list so we can be nosy, basically. So we be nosy, you know what I mean? You get on nosy, right? And literally the amount of events is like 100x. It is like everybody who was like, ooh, can y'all come to my event for 5Gs next 3 months? Like literally the amount of people with events is through the roof. And what's going to happen is that same wealth transfer, this person has value. You want some of the value. You want the knowledge. You're going to spend the money, go to the event and get the value, right? What you do with it at that point is you. We already know 70% of people get these courses and they don't finish them. I can see now we had it where everybody had lifetime access, which you bought a course at Classy Climb, it's yours for life. But there was a batch of them, maybe like 1,000, right? Where they didn't. It was like it expired in 2022, in like January, February, March. If y'all don't realize, we get so many emails months later, and then this month, Christmas. I had a course and I had access. I don't have access. I need my access. I'm like, I go back and look. They ain't did nothing. They ain't read nothing. They ain't opened nothing. They ain't checked nothing in 2 years. And I go, what happened? So we talked with the staff. We realized it's just like a batch of 1,000. So we went through updating people's access. I can tell y'all, we looked at how many people did the work, watched the videos, just simple 5-minute videos. I'm telling you, I know what I know, the math, the data. We have 15,000 people on the email list. We can see a lot of data points. We've had over 10,000 students in the last 7 years. When people talk crazy about courses, I laugh, and course creators, because of what I know is I'm in the rooms with those folks. They already know how to start a business. They already had enough courage to go out there. They already spent money on Facebook ads and marketing ads. They know better now. What they know better than 80% of the population is they know 80% of y'all will not do the work. You will not start the LLC. You will not go get the bank account. You will not get the phone number. You can do all this online in 10 minutes. You will not put a business plan together. They know they can go today on Indeed, create jobs, and put part-time in it to get you excited because you don't want to work a full-time thing. You want to do a part-time thing or part-time remote, and y'all sign up to work. Not to start a business, but to work. We know that. And so when people talk bad about these course creators and these people that's been out here speaking, public speaking, do you know there's people that's been speaking, public speaking for 40 years? Les Brown, Grant Cardone's. And there's a lot of other people that are lower tiered. Like the other day, someone showed me a ticket for a $3,000 event. And I said, who is this man? They said, oh, he sold an $800 million company. I'm like, I've never heard of him. So you will be in these ecospheres and these chambers talking about, I can't wait for these people to fail, which is a bitch move anyway. Like sitting on the sidelines, like, I can't wait for them to fail. That's bitch. That's feminine. To be sitting on the sidelines waiting for your ex to marry somebody and get divorced or get fat or whatever, right? That's bitch. That's whack. That's lame. That's a person that's not proactive in their life. They're only reactive. So anytime you talk crazy about these people who started businesses and failed, you know, businesses people started and failed and kept on going about their life, they have something you don't have. They have the skill to get started. They have the skill to hit that extra switch button. So these things where people sit here and go, ha, ha, ha. There's one or two people that are classy climbers right now. I salute them every time I see them. Because before they even met me, they watched my videos. They started buying properties in a city I don't even live in right now. Then they started buying more properties. So by the time I talk to them, they have been immersed in real estate knowledge, financial knowledge, and they work a regular 9 to 5. When you want to solve the problem, you will solve the problem. And a lot of you don't want to solve the problem. Again, credit, business plan, patience, right? Because people want to start something on Monday and get paid Friday because they're what? Used to a worker environment. 3, 4 is work and life skills. Let me see the rest of y'all comments and I'm going to wrap it up on out of here. I could show y'all rapper comments all day. So that money will be gone in a 24-month period. Oh, for sure. And they'll be the same family crying that they stole the beach from us and our parents squandered the $20 million. We already know what's going to happen. We already know. It won't work. You can't do it. They should have shot him in the leg. You know how many times I've watched videos where they should have shot him in the leg. Why didn't they shoot him in the leg? Because their legs are moving. That's right, William. Ain't no man working at Hooters. It's a shame. That's not equal opportunity. Ma'am, you have to leave. Leave. All right. They should have leased that land and never sold it. Lease it with the understanding that leasing can never own it and the percentage of profits for business, generational money. Yeah, these are basic conversations. Basic. Very basic stuff that, like, if I was in a massive lawsuit with the whole state of California, most of my energy at night would be, yes, I'm gonna like feed my kids, enjoy my family, but I'm still gonna be like, I need to understand what we're gonna do when we get this land because we've been fighting with California for this long, right? This is what our society has come to. All this inclusion matters and everyone is a winner. I don't want to be included in everything and I don't want to lose when I listen. I want to lose to know when I win. Yeah, you got to have some clear definition. KS had a shame button. Oh, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. KS was the shame king. Yes. Yes, he would be like, he would be like, don't ever orange me. I mean, he would go hard. And again, they literally, the wiggle room for what men can say versus women is crazy, right? It's just absolutely crazy. So, you know what I mean? It's really crazy. Nuclear Dad, I offer a will and trust to my clients. Not everyone needs it, but everyone is eligible. Well, listen. The first line on Google is when to have a trust. Thank you. I have white relatives just as ignorant. Oh, for sure, John. Listen. Let's not get it twisted. I've got Puerto Rican relatives. I've got Taiwanese. I've got a couple different colors all over my family. Let me be clear. The smart factor, the ignorant factor, which is just ignorance, right? Is what Witchcott calls them, the ignorance. They exist in every race. But I'm telling you, when you are coming to a family that was completely decimated and robbed of something, the level that they're starting at is so low that the like literally the judge, anybody could have been like, man, how do we kind of do this? Here you go. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you have a net worth of at least 100K and a substantial amount of assets in real estate, again, that applies to who? 10% of our society. Google works. You know what I mean? AskJeeves.com. Any of those. I know. I wish Slim Thug would tighten that beard up. It looks crazy. Crash test dummies never want to crash alone. You ever see people be putting a bunch of group of people in the car? My family was big on making sure all the boys in our family had pickup trucks that was a 2-door seater, like little Ford Rangers. And everybody was making fun of them. Oh, y'all so country. And it was because my uncles were saying the easy way for cops to stop kids is like, oh, there's so many kids in the car, I had to stop the car. They come up with these like excuses to stop the car, right? And so if you're in these 2-seater pickup trucks, well, why'd you stop the car? Well, these two kids were doing what? Just going to school? I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can work around this conversation, but we don't have to. Yeah, people literally make up their own meanings to words. You're hurting their feelings. They're saying in their kitty poops and you're gonna talk to me. You're gonna talk to me. Why have slow people? Again, when I told you at the beginning of the show, when Derrick Rose explained, I said, Derrick Rose accused of rape? That's terrible. And his lawyers were like, do you want to settle? You know why his lawyers said, do you want to settle? Because it was embarrassing that you dummies lined up to go inside this room with a woman. And so at any moment, these men could have turned on you. This woman could have turned on you. They could have told all the police everything you was doing. Any of this, they could have all sued you for wrong place, wrong time, all kind of stuff. But yet, this is an avoidable problem, an avoidable situation, an avoidable woman. And everybody's like, but, she has to pay him after the trial because, she bought the trial. I'm like, yeah, that's just legal. But if I was an attorney, I'd be like, oh, God, this dummy who's got money, who could have just paid any girl to come to the room, come to his room by himself, not line up at a door like he's 15 years old and a sicko. You know what I mean? It's just stupid stuff that's so avoidable. And people are like, Ericka, don't judge, don't shame. No, it's avoidable stuff. It's avoidable stuff. Accident safe. What did I just say to you? Go call an attorney. Where are you at? What city and state? Go into Google, book a consult call with an attorney, book a call with your insurance agent. If you have cancer, 2 kids and 250-day in savings and a small house, you should be already making a life plan with your attorney and a life plan with your insurance agent and a life plan with your family and a will. So, I mean, again, if this is a situation that's affecting you personally, I'm not showing grace and, patience with you in the situation, but your first thing should be to turn this YouTube live off immediately. Go onto Google, find you an attorney in your city that sets up wills. And, one of the things that I got as a kid when my parent died was an annuity. But if you pay attention, J.G. Wentworth commercials, you can cash out an annuity unless you put parameters around it, right? So again, if this is an incident that's happening to you, if someone you know or yourself has cancer, 2 kids and 250K in savings and a small house, they need to be speaking to an attorney. They need to be speaking to their insurance agent, setting up policies and setting up a situation for their children to have, 1, a college fund after your death that is funded by the policy, and 2, a plan of succession. Okay, this house goes to who that takes care of my kids. They get this amount of money a month and they can't sell this house because this house is for my kids. Right? So again, like this kind of like you're asking this question, and if this is your situation, here you go. If you're just asking it for attention, here's the response I have. Clip it, send it to whoever you need to send it to. But these are the questions you shouldn't even be on YouTube for. You should absolutely be speaking to an attorney There are people that do it for discount, do it for free, and you should be speaking with your insurance agent. Because if you have a house, you have an insurance. Period. If you have a house, you have insurance. You either have rental insurance or you have actual insurance on your home, and they will be in that position to speak with you. 200K, one skill away. Yep. Yep. To Millionaire got in the tech space and disappeared. Yeah, he was like done with all that. He was done. He speaks at events here and there. Hedge and private equity funds. Yeah, syndications. They are. It is what it is. Those heirs gave the land away. Yeah. That's a parking lot. They literally could have turned that strip in Bruce Beast to a parking lot with paid meters and got that much money. That's how sad it is. A person get a trust, insure the. Yeah, yeah. Ericka vid is 10K a month, life changing. I'm glad you enjoy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. A will tells you who gets what. A trust tells them what to do with what they get. Thank you. And again, I just have recently dealt with a family deaf, and their children have policies, but they don't have instructions. So now they're like, oh, again, that happens. Most people talk about it, but never walk it. These are facts. I mean, again, solid steps to wealth. We brought on solid steps to wealth, Mrs. Ward, so many times. Again, literally could start a business, a service business, 0 to 100K, could eat well, repairing things. These are the basic conversations. And again, so the things where people say, I don't know what I could do. I don't know what I could do. All right. There you go. When you want to solve the art, you solve it. 2-seated pickup trucks and sport cars, birth control. Yes and no, because teenagers will use beds of trucks. Yeah. So okay. So why even ask that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. That's kind of weird to like draw that scenario out if you don't know that. Like, I don't. That seems weird. It depends. It depends. All Star. When did they? Okay. Listen. Let's be really clear. If your family had insurance before you got cancer, yes, you're fine. They can't cancel your policy. That's actually against the law. If you have pre-existing conditions and then you want to go get, like you had cancer and now you're free of cancer and you try to go get insurance, yes, it's going to be more expensive. I'm a person who had two surgeries here in Austin and went to go re-up my insurance. And they were like, we're going to triple it now, baby. And you're like, hey, that's illegal, but it's not. Okay, there you go. I think people are coming to you about this because they trust you, not some random lawyer they didn't even consider talking to. Yeah, but they do. That's like the next real step is like talking to an attorney. As much as we don't trust them, I would say get a couple. And I know people are like, oh, $100 I got to spend to talk to an attorney. Yeah, that person's earned that degree and they've earned that respect that you're going to have to spend money to talk to them. But shit, lots of people earn that time and respect, but that's another conversation. So this was the show today. There's 450 people here. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely, I'll see you guys January 8th on the live training. I'm talking about credit and business, getting you guys the steps. It's not just about business credit cards. It's not just about stunting. It's about actual vendor lines of credit, different things we can get you set up with. And it's not just Quill and Granger. If you notice from my last trainings, we didn't even talk about Quill, Granger, or any of those. We had hundreds of other ones because there's so much out there if you're willing and ready to get it. Again, people talk about Navy Federal. I gave y'all at least 50 banks that are not Navy Federal that are giving out crazy amounts of money, 20K, 30K cards. You can literally build that depth from those banks. It's in the training, the live training, January 8th. I know it is. I'm competing with football season, and I know that, and I'm okay. That's why there's replays. You guys can get the replays in the class. If you get the bundle, the $97 bundle, that bundle has 4 classes in it. 4 out of that 4, you get all access to all the information, and that's 1-page business plan. That's the financial freedom starts at the basement, which I've got to add the HSA to. Then we have getting money for your business, and the credit spring cleanup. Again, when we do the live training, it will go, the replay will go in each one of those classes. Don't miss out on this training. January 8th, January 14th, we're talking about digital real estate. If you're in my digital real estate, I am telling y'all, we're on the countdown. It's the third day of January, and I'm like, oh, we're here. This is our Super Bowl. Black Friday in January to April is the Super Bowl for business owners. If you in fitness and health, this is your Super Bowl. We've got a few affiliates and partnerships we set up this week. You're going to be seeing us talk about them and promote them because this is the Super Bowl. This is when people go, new year, new me. Getting my mind right? This is when people go buy the equipment they ain't gonna work on. This is when people go buy the outfits they're not gonna wear. This is when people get really hyped and do nothing with it. So if I were you, you're a business owner and you're looking to create digital real estate that you can promote and put out there, join us on January 14th. We're going to talk about running up to 100K. How do we get these partnerships? How do we get advertising? How do we get marketing? Again, there are, even the other day when I talked about affiliate marketing, there are countless people running ads right now on YouTube who aren't even YouTubers, but they know how powerful this platform is. And they literally just send people to their website. So listen, we can do all that in those live trainings. Hit the links. I put them in the chat. Thank you so much, Suzanne. The last training was fire. It was enjoyable. We have 40 new slides. Every time I put more and more content, bring your pencil, bring your paper, bring your questions. This is your girl, Ericka, Classy Clown Blog. Thank you so much for being here. You guys have a wonderful evening.